It's your favorite compas, and we're back with another episode. As we fast approach the start of training camp, we have scraped the bottom of the barrel for NFL content this week for our rapid fire and compas on the NFL beat segments. This week, we give our top defenses heading into the NFL season. Plus, with the NFL announcing the Jets to be on Hard Knocks, we get into some storylines to look forward to. We also get into Gilbert's experience as a commoner at the SoFi Stadium final of the Gold Cup between Mexico and Panama and Certified Compas. And as always, we bring on Dan and Daygo and Vic, the producer, for the burial of the week and avocado roast. And that reminds me, Gilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers / listeners?
I do have a question, Fernando, but I feel like it's some breaking news before we start the episode. Truly, here on Compas on the Beat, we are allowed to talk soccer. America's game, the world's game. I don't know what it is, but I went, so maybe it is a game for America. But that is a question, the engagement question of the week. Fernando, your squad, El Tri, are they back after beating Panama? Gold Cup Final, the prestigious Gold Cup. It happens every 2 years. I had to look it up. I didn't know how many times it happens, but I looked it up. So let me know. And that win, Santiago with a G, Jimenez, game-winning goal. Let me know if El Tri's back in the comments. If you're a Mexico fan, you love that game, you're saying they're coming back. Get in the comments. If you say no, disagree, I don't care. Give me your opinion. It doesn't matter. We're all here trying to listen to everybody's opinions.
The U.S. is still stronger. So they've done a youth movement.
Analysis for later.
I'm just saying. And then Jurgen Klinsmann was onto something for Team USA a couple of years ago, but everybody just wanted to hate on him when he didn't let Dan Lennon
Fernando, get back on the computer and do the comment we just said and play along. Thank you.
Gilbert, it went over Gilbert's head. He's like, Jurgen who? But let's get now to a guy that knows a little bit about football. Let's go to Dan and Daygo and see what he's got cooking up for us.
Welcome all to another glorious Wednesday. You already know what it is. It is not only one day closer to the weekend. It is not only hump day, but it is the day that your favorite program, Compas on the Beat, drops a new episode. You already know what it is. Your boy Dan and Daygo's here to remind you of a few things. Do not forget, we have a merch store now with a lot of cool things. We got hoodies. We got hats. We got t-shirts. We got stickers. And we might have pins. Everybody loves pins. I don't know if it's up yet, but if not, you can go slide in that Stooges DMs to find out if Gilberto's going to put it up or not. And also, do not forget to check out all the stuff from UFC 290. There's a lot of great content up there. And you already know you're hyped up for another episode because we got Certified Compas coming up to you. We got Compas on the NFL beat. We got Rapid Fire. Then the boys come in and shoot the breeze for a little bit. We appreciate you all. Shout out to all of you guys. But anyway, enough of the dilly-dally, Dan. Let's get to the program. It's time to get to the best damn program in all the universe. From all the way across the hallway. Play the music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano. He covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
Hey, Fernando, you're messing up the intro. I also cover golf now. I spend the week in Lake Tahoe. I also experience soccer now, so I do it all.
You watched.
I experience.
Well, yeah. You got to watch golf in the form of athletes performing on the golf course. Yeah. Did you Happy Gilmore, or were you actually pretty quiet?
I was pretty quiet, but you get the people that want to talk to these athletes, and just to kind of give you a quick summary.
AJ Hawk. AJ.
I heard a couple.
AJ Hawk.
He was walking by a couple of Hawk noises.
By the way, a couple of years ago, there was a guy that would go every single year, and he'd ask AJ to tackle him. He's like, don't tell me when. And AJ would surprise tackle him, and he'd take one time. I think his shoes literally came off because that's how hard he tackled him. I'm glad that wasn't you, Gilbert.
No, that guy's a big dude, and I could tell he played linebacker in the NFL. But yeah, AJ Hawk was one of many there. Either former NFL players or current NFL players, and that was my job, is to follow these football players playing golf at the American Century Championship in Lake Tahoe, which is technically State Line, Nevada. I learned that Lake Tahoe is not really a city, Fernando. It could be South Lake Tahoe, not Tahoe. I'm
Taco.
already tripping. Lake
He's
Tahoe,
back at the Mexico
Lake
game
Tahoe.
from
But
Sunday.
I was learning about the region there, so I got to get that right. There is a nice, beautiful lake. You got to check it out one time, Fernando. I love the scenery there, but it was cool to follow around.
Maybe next year for the golf tournament.
Yeah, we got to do it. And it was weird to see Patrick Mahomes truly struggle at putting. So he does a lot of great things on the football field, but he's not a good golfer. I'll just say that.
By the way, Dan and Daygo was kind of angry. He's like, Canelo, why didn't you do your job? Because him and Canelo kind of squared up in one of those. And when Dan was watching the video, he was like, get him, knock him out. And then he's like, damn it. He's like, why didn't you do it?
Come on, rough house, a little accident here.
Exactly. So if you had to choose one player that was more of a Happy Gilmore-esque, somebody that kind of stood out to you that was kind of having fun and everything, who do you think that would be? Oh, you have a smile on your face.
I was gonna say, because you got me thinking. When I think Happy Gilmore, I think like he's mad, like get in the hole.
Oh, well,
like,
yeah, but I mean, just out there, kind of.
A couple of times, Canelo got really frustrated with his swing, but really outgoing. Steph Curry, man, he's a man of the people, and he won the whole damn thing, and he's really good at it. Had a hole in one.
When he won, I was hoping when he did the hole in one, I was hoping he would grab his golf stick and like ride it like a horse the way Happy Gilmore did. I was kind of waiting for something like that, but he didn't do it.
Dude, he like just loved the spotlight. He was making jump shots, reverse, talking to everybody, and he had one of the biggest crowds. But like when it came to taking pictures, signing autographs, he was pretty good at it. The Chiefs and the Kelseys and the Mahomes, that crew, they had a pretty massive following, but they weren't really allowed to sign autographs supposedly. But
oh, really?
Because there was just too many Chiefs jerseys out there. And but what was weird, Fernando, seeing like the old timers like Jerry Rice, John Elway, like those legends walk around like kind of by themselves. Like imagine this golf event has been going on for 30 years. Like 15 years ago, they will be the rock stars, but here we are.
Yeah. 15, I think more like
maybe 20. Yeah.
I heard that supposedly Mahomes and Curry got into an argument about whose wife was worse. Is that true?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay.
I was not there for that. Yeah, but by the way, you could ding me on this one. It was fun to follow for a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, Pat McAfee, and AJ Hawk. That was a nice little trio there. That was pretty fun.
Were you able to get Pat?
He was busy, man. He was drinking a lot of I guess Corona. They're sponsored by Corona.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of PSGs. AJ Hawk mentioned it. I had to look it up, and they were sponsored by that. So, yeah, a lot of good time.
Aaron Rodgers, I saw, did a lot of media. I was surprised.
Yeah, I thought he was one of the tough ones to get to, but I guess people have better access than I did.
Well, it was more TV people, I think.
Yeah, and I think you have to kind of go through the publicist, but like I was just going up to people and chatting. Like Josh Allen was cool to talk to for a little bit. I talked to Adam Thielen, Harrison Smith from the Vikings. Who else?
You should have told Josh Allen next time you're in San Diego. I know these two dudes that know the best burrito spots down there. Go hang out with them.
His was very quick because Miles Teller and Charles Barkley were interrupting, but it's okay. I'll give these guys a pass. But overall, it was pretty cool. I saw my doppelganger Michael Pena for a bit, and a lot of people wanted to take pictures with Michael Pena, but you could tell he was like, okay, I need a break. So maybe we are similar in that way.
I'm telling you need to watch Jack Ryan season 4. He's Michael Pena's in that.
I know we haven't got to avocado roast, Fernando, but you mentioned Jack Ryan last week. I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try. I messed up because I started watching from season 4, episode 1, and it was Michael Pena. I'm like, oh, Michael Pena's been around since the beginning. I'm guessing he's a new character.
Yeah, he's a new character.
It took me one episode to realize I watched it from the back. So there you go.
No, it's all good. Yeah, no, I definitely. It looked like it was a lot of fun being out. Was it hot or how was the?
No, it was the perfect weather, man. It was really hot. The first day, because I'm already pretty dark skinned. I'm brown guy myself. Yeah. I don't think I could get any more color. I was definitely wrong. The first day I got burnt. I had a nice haircut. And I didn't want to wear a hat. Second day, I wasn't playing around. I got a hat, glasses. I was just trying to get covered up. And the third day, I had a bunch of sunscreen. But the first day, it really destroyed me. And, man, dude, I think I got 20,000 steps every day I went. I went 3 days. And if you don't have a little carrito, a little car, well, you're walking around trying to chase these people. It's a long walk.
Did you lose? You must have lost like a pant size at least and water weight.
I think I broke even because I've been eating pretty poorly because, I had the Vegas week. and then at the Tahoe week.
And I kept on sending you like Vegas things to eat out there too.
Yeah, it was pretty poorly. And then like I was telling Victor, I had to miss the fantasy league meeting because I was pretty flamed out by then.
Oh, really?
I was dead.
Wow. And you still got to select first overall.
Yeah, I know. So I was joking with Victor in the group that I'm not going to any more fantasy football meetings because it turns out better for me in the end.
So both of us didn't go, and I got 10th, and you got first. That's pretty funny.
I don't know, but technically we both did well because you still get first.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it comes around. You get 2 picks. So I mean,
I don't want to be in the middle of a fantasy.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. I mean, I already know my strategy. Yeah, no, honestly, last week I didn't. I mean, I'm just getting ready for training camp. You know, it's funny. I actually tagged along with Dan and Daygo, and what did we do? AQ Shipley was in San Diego. He's an offensive lineman. He was working out at Dan and Daygo's where he coaches football, and Dan went to go talk to him and get tips and how to coach better and all that.
Is that Tom
He's
Brady's
on the Pat
friend?
McAfee show.
Tom Brady's friend?
Yeah. He's on the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. So Dan, I just stood on the sidelines and I just watched Dan and learn from him and coach and everything. And it was pretty cool to see, because I mean, he sees me at work sometimes, like doing my thing. It was cool to see him doing his thing and kind of learning and everything. So it was pretty cool to see AQ Shipley. Yeah, exactly. It was cool to see AQ Shipley like try and pass down some wisdom to him and everything. So that was pretty cool. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Other than that, I really didn't do all that much except for get ready for training camp. It's going to be a hot one. I feel like these last few days have been pretty hot here. So I hope Jack Hammett or whatever the hell that place is called. I hope no trees has been taken down. I hope they planted more trees. I hope there's more shade because that's what I try and you've seen me. I try and like crouch down over by the shade and I ain't trying to stay in the sun that long.
You got about 8 and 9 days to enjoy before the training camp.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's gonna be. But all right, let's move on to Certified Compas. Gilbert, speaking of going to Tahoe, that's why you were tired too, because you were going to have to go to the Mexico game the next day or whatever. Yeah. So you went to the Gold Cup Final, Mexico versus Panama. Was that your first soccer game in a while?
Definitely is, especially as like a spectator. I wouldn't call myself a fan. Maybe I am a fan after.
Was it weird not to go to SoFi and go up to the 7th or to the what is it, the 4th floor and get into the media room and do all that?
I wasn't in a bad area. It's actually, when as soon as you walk in, you're like in the 300, like that's
yeah.
So it wasn't too bad, but I was right under the press box, and yeah, I'll just say that like I was annoyed to get like how you go to the game, you go like 3 hours early, you don't deal with all the traffic. As you know, a Mexico soccer game, we were running kind of late, not late, but we were on time, which means you're gonna be stuck in traffic to do the parking.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra.
We made it for half of that song, so that's but
that's pretty good.
Well,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that we got there maybe like at 3:40, and we got in the building at 4:40, so it took us an hour to just park the freaking car.
Wow.
And by the way,
you didn't tell them who you were. You didn't get any media parking.
We were joking about how much you would pay for parking. And I said 50 is my max. I did $50. I'm like, this is what you guys pay for at SoFi Stadium. And I chose PS1 because I had that all of last year with the Rams. Okay, I'll go there. But when you get to like a certain time, they just close off the building. I'm like, so what the hell did I pay for if I wanted the PS1? And they just put me like in the freaking blue zone. I'm like, okay, whatever. I was annoyed. And then so you have to go through that. Other than that, the whole parking, that was annoying. But to be with the crowd. And we're in the press box. We're like in this isolated kind of box there. You don't really get to experience the full atmosphere. It was pretty loud there for SoFi Stadium, and it was a good little atmosphere. If you want to go ahead, ask me the question, Fernando, what it says down there, and I will answer no.
What?
Our international soccer match is the best atmosphere in sports.
Come on. That's because you didn't experience
it is not.
If you would have gone USA versus Mexico, I bet your tune would be a lot different.
No, it's just like I've covered boxing ringside, and it's much better for me. That's my thing, my preference, because I enjoyed the atmosphere because I was around, some good people. We're hanging around, but it was a whole lot of nothing until like the 88th minute, and then
no, the disallowed goal.
Well, yeah, that was the worst part. Like, I'm like, I get it happens in football, real football, where like they do like a flag or they overturn it, you challenge it. But like we were celebrating for 10 freaking minutes, and then out of nowhere it says VAR challenge has been overturned. I'm like, why are we celebrating for 10 minutes? It felt like a waste of time. I don't know how you guys do that. Fernando, I can't if my life was on the line, I don't know how to explain an offsides to you. But the one that the gist that I get
the rule again.
Okay, see that I'm not gonna know. The gist that I get is that you can't be ahead of some line.
You can't be ahead of any body part of the defender.
Okay, so that I kind of knew, but when the Argentinian Mexican, who's not really Mexican, I don't understand that, Fernando. When he was battling with the two defenders, okay, that has to be a goal. He's like behind these people trying to fight for the ball. It has to count. When he kind of passed them and he kicked it, it was a whole party, and it was cool to see that. It kind of felt like a Justin Herbert play developing, and just like launched a bomb. Him to kind of beat those two defenders and then kick the goal. And sometimes I feel like goalies are just lazy. Like you couldn't like toss yourself a little more that way.
The problem is the goalie had already gone to his right.
That's just me being a casual. But it was cool to see that develop, and then the party ensued. And I knew in my head, because I knew some basic, no way you could call that back. The other one, I had no idea what was going on.
I'm confused. You said you are a casual. Last night in the group chat, you didn't sound like a casual. So, because of that, we're going to play a game with Gilbert. Who am I?
Really?
With Gilbert Manzano. Are you ready for
this?
Who
he play for?
Yeah.
We're going to do a rundown, Fernando.
We're doing I know. Vic, the producer, and I were the masterminds behind this. But are you ready for this? Gilbert Manzano, who am I?
That's easy. Come on. Cristiano Ronaldo, who plays for Saudi Arabia, apparently.
There you go. You got this one right. Next one.
Harder. Oh no. That's the guy from Ted Lasso.
He can't hear you, bro.
Ted Lasso, that's the guy. Yeah.
Ted Lasso.
The guy who dates the owner.
Vinicius Jr.
No idea who that is. He doesn't have a last name or a first name?
No, well, no, they don't use them.
Okay.
Who am I, Gilbert? I play for Bayern Munich. I used to play for Liverpool.
Drogba.
This guy.
No.
My name is Sadio Mane.
Don't tell me this guy's actually popular.
Gilbert, who is he? He played in last night's game, or in Sunday night's game.
He's Mexican? I don't know. Some tall.
Edson Alvarez, the center defensive mid for Mexico, for your El Tri.
I would have guessed light heavyweight boxing.
This guy. Let's see
no
if you'll
idea
get
who
one.
Megan Rapine or something like that.
This that is Abby Wambach.
Really?
She's one of the greatest USA. Her and Mia Hamm.
When her hair wasn't dyed.
Soccer. I even had to throw in some women's soccer. Gilbert, who am I?
I know the jersey, Juventus, whatever it's called.
Yeah, Juventus.
I don't know.
Juan Cuadrado.
Have I only gotten one?
You've only gotten one. Gilbert, come on.
Okay, I know that jersey because I saw it on Messi. He's from Miami, right?
Yep.
I don't know who he is.
We ain't playing who he played for. We playing who am I?
I have no idea. Wait, no. Clint Dempsey.
Yo, my God. This is Sergio Busquets.
Ooh.
He used to play with Messi at Barcelona. Gilbert, who am I?
Another regular white guy who's probably corrupt in CONCACAF.
Whoa. No, he is not. He's a manager. A world-class manager? Yep. A head coach.
Looks like a typical owner.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say he was The Rock because of the eyebrow.
No, I have no idea who that is.
That is Carlo Ancelotti. He's the Real Madrid manager. He will take over for Brazil in 2024.
That's your boy?
He is one of the greatest managers of all time. He's won almost everything. I think this is the last one. Gilbert.
Oh, yeah, I know this guy. He's my guy now. Santiago Jimenez with a G. Why is it
not San Diego?
Santiago, not Santi. Is it Santiago?
There you go. Good job, Gilbert.
Can you ask him if you ever see him why he spells his last name with a G? It's not a J.
That'll be I'll ask him.
But yeah,
Gilbert, you got 2 out of however many I put out there, but close enough. Megan Rapinoe, you just saw a shaved side of the head.
hey, that's 2.5. That one counts.
No, that's
and
not.
Can you tell me why this guy's playing the Mexican national team when he's from Argentina?
So basically, he was born in Argentina, but he has Mexican nationality. So like right now, there's a kid on Team USA. He could have played for Ghana, England, or the USA because his mom is from Ghana, his dad is from England, and he was born in the United States. So literally, you can mess around with like Dan and Daygo and I we're Mexican, born in the United States, but we also have Scottish blood. We could play for any of those 3 teams if we wanted to.
Maybe Dan can play center for the Scottish football team.
But that's how it goes. So like you could choose between Mexico and the United States. But like say that it comes out that your dad's like from, or your mom is from, she has like 10% Colombian in her. You could go play for Colombia too. So like that's how they kind of play. They kind of play with that kind of stuff.
Well, let me guess. My homeboy Santi Jimenez couldn't make the Argentina squad.
No. So he had it. No, you have to choose. So you can never wear the Argentina jersey. You have to only wear one. So he decided to go with Mexico. It pissed off a lot of people in Argentina.
Oh, so he was actually like, well,
yeah, he was supposed to be the next big thing, and he's not the next Messi or Maradona, but he was the next good striker that was going to put on the Argentina jersey. But he decided to go with Mexico because he thought he'd get he'd get more playing time with Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So he decided to go with Mexico. It kind of
feels like the easy way out, but I did know this guy was a player because I had some common sense. When they subbed him in, I'm like, why is he being? This guy must be a scrub. Why is he being subbed in? There was some loud cheers for the guy.
So Mexico loves him.
They know who he is.
So right now he's playing in the Dutch league. He was the highest scorer in the Dutch league, and he was the highest scorer in a tournament. Not in the Europa League, in the some third rate tournament. He was the highest scorer, so everybody on Mexico was like, dude, come on, give him a chance, like let him play. And they wouldn't. They finally did, and look what he did. So
I was guessing he was some kind of prize player on a club team.
No,
so they don't want to give him too many minutes, so he came in late.
That's what a lot of people think is happening too.
See, I know some stuff.
But you know what? To answer your question at the beginning, Mexico does need they need a youth movement, and they have some pieces like Santi, like some of these other pieces that they should mix in. The problem is the federation goes with what the sponsors want. So the sponsors want El Chicharito. The sponsors want Héctor Herrera. They want these guys that they've made so much money. That's why Memo Ochoa is still playing for
I guess incorrectly, but I told Caroline's brother he's got to be 40. He's like, no, he's only like 33. I'm like, what?
No. He's about 38. He's been to 5 World. This was his. I think this last one was his. It was either his 5th or his 4th World Cup. He wants to go to the next one so he could be the goalkeeper with the most World Cups, I think, gone to or something. No, he's 37, 38 years old.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, he's up there in age. He's been to a lot of World Cups, and that's why he wants to play in the one that's here in Mexico and the United States and in Canada, because he wants to end his career like that. But if you're in Mexico, you can't allow a 41-year-old goalie to start for you. I mean, the last time he did it was El Conejo Perez in 2010, and that guy sucked.
I don't know who you're talking about or who that is, but is the next World Cup coming up here? Is it here?
Yeah, it's the one that's going to be here.
All right,
but before that, next year is the Copa America. So next year you're going to see, I mean, you're already going to see Messi here, but next year you're going to see Messi, Brazil. You're going to see all the Brazils, the Ecuador,
the real tournament.
Colombia. The real tournament. Yeah. So basically, that's going to be all the Americas going at it, and Canada going at it in a tournament. It's going to be like kind of the appetizer to the World Cup.
SoFi Stadium. Where is this tournament going to be taking place?
They're all over the United States. So they haven't chosen
the Compas could go to one of these. I'll allow it.
That would be sick. But it's funny. Yesterday I think was a little bit of a test because they don't want to put the final in. They don't want to put the final at SoFi unless you have regular. Grass. They don't like the turf.
What did they play on yesterday then, or Sunday?
They played on turf.
Ugh.
but they don't want the final of the World Cup to be somewhere where there's not turf. So that's why I'm telling you, all these players coming out and talking about we want regular grass, and the NFL's like, no, we're not going to do that. What's going to make them do it is the World Cup. The World Cup, I think, is going to make them shift over back to real grass. Because look at Arizona. It's not that expensive. Vic just asked if Mexico will send their A team for that. They have to. They have to send their A team to that. You have to win that tournament. I mean, you're already in the World Cup. Mexico, Canada, and the United States are already guaranteed a spot, but still, you wanna make a good impression in that. Because I mean, for the semifinal, it was in Las Vegas. It was empty, Gilbert. There was not that many fans. Why? Because they're pissed at the federation. They want change. They want them to implement. They want what the U.S. has. What Jurgen Klinsmann, who was the manager for Team USA, they got mad at him in 2014 because he left out Landon Donovan from the World Cup. He left out a lot of senior players. Why? Because he was doing this youth movement, and now it's starting to pay off. Well, Mexico's like, hey, Memo Ochoa, Chicharito, Hector Herrera, Carlos Vela, those guys are all done. Let's start our own youth movement and bring these guys up and have them start competing. Even if it takes them, not this World Cup, but the next one, it doesn't matter, but just start the youth movement already. But Mexico is just too pig-headed, and it doesn't feel like they're going to do it.
Fernando, you're talking about, because I was trying to read up on what I saw yesterday because I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
Shout out to Greg Beecham. I read the AP story, and I understood more about what was going on. But apparently there was a different tournament, the one you're talking about in Las Vegas, but they also played the semifinal in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The one that was the
Nation
fire was that one. What the hell was that?
That was just a made-up tournament that they just came to get to be able to give more trophies. It's all a money ploy. That's why they've started all these tournaments. That's why the NBA is doing that damn tournament within the season, because they see that that Europe makes so much money off of the Champions League and all these other things that they do, all these tournaments, side tournaments that they have. So the U.S. is trying to benefit in that, and they're like, oh, well, basketball, let's benefit. Let's do a mid-season tournament in Vegas, and let's do something like that. Well, that's what the Nations League is. That's why all of a sudden people are like, oh, the Nations League counts more than the Gold Cup. Growing up, I remember it was always the Gold Cup that mattered and nothing else mattered. I mean, everybody remembers that 2011 game when U.S. was up 2-0. Landon Donovan starts doing this because there had been players suspended for PEDs, and because they said they had tainted chicken, and they had eaten tainted chicken in Mexico. No, it wasn't beef, actually. It was chicken that they said. So then Mexico comes back, beats them 4-2. So it was a great game. I remember that was one of the greatest games I think I've ever witnessed. And Giovanni Dos Santos had a great goal. But yeah, it's just another made up trophy. Will Jimmy Lozano get the manager job? Honestly, that's what we were discussing on Compas FC. JC and Eddie both think that they need to keep that. He should stay on. And yeah, why would you mess it up? So Jimmy Lozano, Gilbert, took these guys when they were younger to the Olympics, and I think he beat Brazil in the third place, and they got third place. They beat Brazil for that. Brazil, we already know they're a factory of they push out soccer players like nothing. They beat Brazil, and Jimmy Lozano was kind of brought up with these kids. Well, last night his contract ended with Mexico last night officially after the game. Once the whistle was once the referee blew the whistle, his contract was done. So now Mexico has to think about maybe bringing him back or going and getting somebody else. The one guy that they keep on talking about is El Piojo Herrera. You remember him, the guy that celebrates, gets all crazy. But the fans want Jimmy Lozano. Why? He just won. Why would you take away the keys? Why would you take away the keys of the car if he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything bad? If you're a parent, why would you take the keys away? Let him drive. So fans are just up in arms. Are like, oh, Televisa, Univision is going to make the decision for the federation, and they're going to choose El Piojo because El Piojo is right now with Tijuana right here. So El Piojo is known all around the world. People know him. He's worldwide. He does commercials. He does all this stuff. So it's just it's a cluster F. But if Mexico knows what's right for them, they bring back Jimmy Lozano and they let him cook. Kick Antuna off, kick some of these idiots that suck, kick them off and build your own team. Build it with whatever you want to build it with. So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm glad you had a good game.
Yeah, and I was going to say that I read some of his quotes after, with Jimmy Lozano. There you go. I got the name. That he said like he's never seen so many happy people at once, and like and it's true because I was right there in the center of it, of all the Mexican fans, and there's a lot of happy people for that. I'm like, it's just a freaking Gold Cup, and they're celebrating like they won like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, it was even Memo Ochoa was running around and celebrating and everything.
And I've seen, like, I don't watch European League, but I've seen them host a giant,
La orejona, la
there you go.
orejona.
And they had the same kind of thing. I'm like, what are we doing here? But people are really happy. The celebration was on. A lot of music playing after. I'm like,
so that's why I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know. I don't think people have noticed this, but we talked about this also. Is that El Grito? The famous El Grito. That's only used now when Mexico fans want to show their frustration. In that game, in that Nations League game, they kept on chanting it and chanting. Last night they didn't chant it. Why? They haven't chanted it this whole time since Jimmy Lozano's been the manager. Why? Because Mexico fans are happy with him. They're happy with what's happening. Even the announcer, Dan and Daygo, and I were watching the game and we were laughing. And Nations League, they're like, "Pues ya los jugadores." You remember the USA players started fist fighting with the Mexican players. They started shoving and doing all that stuff. They're like, "Pues ya los jugadores sacaron la frustración. Ahí van los fanáticos." The frustration was already taken out by the players. Here go the fans, and they start with the chant. So that should be really telling the Mexico fans, that Mexican Federation also, is that Jimmy Lozano has a control with the fans. The fans respect him. The players respect him. Let him continue. Give him. You just wasted so much money on the last 3 managers. Let them continue. But I guess that's a topic for another day. It's just frustrating to see the way that the Federation runs this. Gilbert, a guy who always proves this point, especially when it comes to going toe-to-toe with you, is Dan and Daygo. Let's see now what he's got cooking up.
You're back to me, your boy Dan and Daygo, and let me tell you something. Do not forget to check out our other programs that we have here on the Compas on the Beat network. We got not only the regular Compas on the Beat show, but we also got House of Horns. What? We got a little What's Up Bolts. What? We got Compas FC. What? And we got Compas, Combat Compas. Do not forget to check all the stuff from UFC 290. You are not going to want to miss it. These videos have been wild. UFC 290 was epic. So do not forget to go out there and check it out. But anyway, let's get back to the program.
Thank you so much, Dan and Daygo. We'll see you in a little bit. But now, Gilbert, it is time for Rapid Fire. Gilbert, the Mets and Dan and Daygo's Padres were off-season winners, but have not lived up to the expectations so far this season. Who are some NFL off-season winners that could underachieve this season?
I'm not going to change my tune, but everybody still likes the Detroit Lions. But I am not as big on them, so I think they might disappoint. And when you haven't won a division since 1993, it's a lot of pressure on this franchise. And then you lost your wide receiver, Jameson Williams, 6 games. I'm not the biggest fan of the draft they had, but Jamar Gibbs could be a stud. And maybe Jack Campbell could be a good linebacker. They got a lot of linebackers. So
they went prehistoric, bro. They went back to the 90s, linebacker and running back.
Maybe play for the Lions if you want to get paid as a running back. But I do respect, I wrote this recently. I do respect that the Lions don't care about the public opinion. They're going to do it their way. They've gone this far by doing it their way. So maybe they see something that I don't know. I'm not the expert like Dan Campbell and the GM there. So, but I don't like the way they did this roster. Well, they had so much hype, and I'm a big fan of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I got to meet him playing video games with Kaepernick, and he destroyed me on the video games, by the way. But he is a stud, and I don't think he could do it by himself, though.
Let me ask you a question real quick. One NFC North head coach came out and said, "Thank God Aaron Rodgers out of our division." Who do you think was the one that said it?
I don't want to say it's Dan Campbell.
I think it's Dan Campbell, to be honest.
Really?
He's the longest tenured coach, isn't he? Oh, yeah, he's the longest tenured coach in the division.
Is he technically?
Yeah.
No, Matt LaFleur. Oh, I guess
no. Eberflus. Oh my God. Maybe it was him. Yeah, maybe he's like, thank God he's out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Miami Dolphins, Gilbert. I know I chose them as my 5th best team, but if Tua Tagovailoa's tumbling and all this jiu-jitsu doesn't work out, and he goes down, and they have some of these injuries, man, Tyreek Hill posted a big target on his back. He said 2,000 yards. I don't know about all that. So definitely, I bet you Jalen Waddle's like, whoa, bro. And then the Chosen Anderson needs some balls thrown his way too. So I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. I think this could unravel really quick, especially if our boy Mike McDaniel ain't hitting that thing on the sideline. DeAndre Hopkins has signed with the Tennessee Titans, Gilbert. But this is
Ooh.
the interesting part. Hopkins said recently, I'll retire from football when I'm not a 1K receiver. Last season, he still had 64 catches for 717 yards. He missed 6 games due to that suspension. Do you think he gets over 1K with Tennessee? And Gilbert, you're the only 10 I see.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm not gonna ignore history, and history shows that when you're a good wide receiver and you go to Tennessee for your third act, it doesn't go well. And 10 years from now, when you ask me about Julio Jones, will I mention the Tennessee Titans stint? No, I will not. I was remember him. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, no, and then Julio Jones did it. Andre Johnson, there's like a picture that went viral. Randy Moss, all these wide receivers go to die there, and it doesn't help when your quarterback options are either over the hill Ryan Tannehill, a disaster quarterback, and Malik Willis, or the guy who eats mayo and ketchup, like whatever it is. Will Levis, and then your running back.
Will Levis' girlfriend got a lot of sponsorships off of. I saw that.
Burger King.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like the move, and it just tells me that DeAndre Hopkins is going more for the money. But I get it. Mike Vrabel likes the doubters. He's gonna soak it in. And you see D Hop tweeting too. I keep receipts and all that. So maybe you could prove me wrong. I just don't see it.
If Treylon Burks does not emerge as the first round, like if he doesn't play up to the par of a first round draft pick, it's gonna be bad. Because what do I have to do, Gilbert? I just stack the box, double team DeAndre, and you've basically stopped the Tennessee Titans. I know it's easier said than done, but I don't think he's gonna get there, Gilbert. I just don't see it. That AFC scout, that AFC executive that said he doesn't have separation anymore. I don't know. I kind of question that too. Why did he need to use what he used to perform better? Is it because he believes that he doesn't have separation?
Oh, good point.
We'll see. So I'm interested to see what happens. So I'm not gonna I don't think he'll get there. I think he's under those stats. Gilbert, Aaron Rodgers, your new BFF that you saw at the golf tournament, and the Jets have finally have been picked as Hard Knocks. It starts August 8th, I believe. What are some of the storylines that NFL fans should be looking forward to when we're talking about the New York Jets? Let's go get a goddamn snack.
Yeah, you kind of cheated, and it took 2 players that I wanted to be interested in. So, but they're kind of the easy ones. So maybe I shouldn't complain too much. But I do want to see what happens with Robert Saleh. I think he's a very fascinating head coach. So I will take that storyline there with Robert Saleh. What kind of makes him tick? What makes him a good coach? How does he kind of prepare? So if the cameras don't want to follow, if Aaron Rodgers says, get out of here, you're not going to follow me, put it more on Saleh. Let's see how he operates.
Can HBO please bring in Rex Ryan for at least one practice or so he can say something?
It's a high bar to match that.
Exactly. That'd be so much fun because they did it back-to-back, the Jets. So, and I think the Jets are going to have more control than last time. Remember, the last time they were on, they let the Cromartie counting his kids thing happen. I'm surprised an NFL team would let that happen. That was embarrassing. So we'll see what happens there. But I like Sauce Gardner versus Aaron Rodgers. He said, if you come, I will not pick you off during practice. So is he going to stay true to his word and not pick him off? That's going to be definitely interesting to see. Gilbert, last week on Rapid Fire, we talked about the 3 players getting suspended for gambling. Then this week on the quarterback series on Netflix, Kirk Cousins took a big hit from Daron Payne of the Washington Commanders and suffered some sort of rib injury that was never disclosed by the Vikings. Should the NFL be as hard on teams for not disclosing injuries as they are with the players?
I say only because of fairness, and it's going to be the even playing field. Yeah, you're going to follow the rules, but if you really think about it, it's kind of dumb. It's just mostly for us fantasy football players, people who bet on sports. Like, do we really need to know? But it does make the game more interesting when you know what's going on and you get to bet on it. But if you're going to have that be the rule where everybody has to report it and somebody's not doing it, and that's an advantage. So you got to penalize them a little harsher. And on a different note, Fernando, I won't say who was talking or who was what, but there's a lot of fans that kept talking to people in Tahoe saying, you're going to bet on yourself at the golf tournament. And people were like, I don't know the rules, but I'm not going to mess around with betting.
I remember when a certain media member tried to get a certain Charger player to talk about betting, and he's like, that is against the rules. So definitely. But Gilbert, honestly, I just think the injury report is fake. You and I have both been the experience of it, that we hear that a player is not, he didn't practice all week and then Sunday he plays. Like, the injury report is fake. It's like you said, it's for Vegas. I just think it's all bogus. I don't think anybody should be up in arms in it. I know you talk about fairness, but remember, do as I say, not as I do. That's the way the NFL is run. That's the way Roger Goodell runs it. By the way, this John Gruden stuff with Roger Goodell is going to be very interesting coming up. Supposedly he has enough dirt to bury him. So I wonder if he's going to rest in peace. But we'll save that for another day. But yeah, the injury report to me has always been weird and just pointless, and it's all for fantasy football. So I don't think anything's going to make of it, but it's interesting to see how this series is. Gilbert, if you can give me 3 quarterbacks for this season that you'd love to see on it, who would you want to see?
On the Netflix series?
Yeah.
Man, that's really tough.
I'll give you mine.
Yeah, just go ahead before I think of mine.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
No. Who is a journeyman I don't know about a journeyman quarterback, but I'd love to see Brian. CJ Stroud. I love to see CJ Stroud on the Houston Texans. And you know what? I'd love to see Jimmy G. Give me Jimmy G. Give me Jimmy G as the middle of the pack quarterback. But I want to see everything, even if it's X-rated. Let's see it. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'll take Jimmy also. But I feel like he's really laid back. He just had like one kind of incident, and I want
an incident though.
I'll take Lamar Jackson because that guy's always going around to like giving people money and community stuff. And then what's the third one? Like a kind of like a nobody, like a
rookie. A rookie.
Okay.
Or that, but I'd rather go rookie. I'd rather go superstar, veteran, and then an established.
Give me Will Levis. It's kind of a weirdo, so follow him around.
Ooh, I like that one.
There you go. So you got 3.
There you go.
With Jimmy though.
I like Joe Burrow.
I feel like Jimmy will be boring, and then one episode is going to be like, whoa.
I'll take one episode over nothing. But the reason why I chose Joe Burrow is because you heard what Patrick Mahomes said. I want to play against the Bengals. I hate listening to them talk or whatever. So I'd love to see what Joe Burrow's side would say with that. But Gilbert, Mexican, he's a compa, Mexican-American Blake Martinez, former Packers, Giants, and Raiders linebacker. He retired from the NFL last season to sell Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. He is selling Pokemon cards, Gilbert. His business has netted him over 11 million plus.
Whoa.
That's what he's doing. Former Titan safety Myron Rule works as a neurosurgeon, as a chief neurosurgeon resident at Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts General Hospital. Nnamdi Asomugha, former Raider and Eagle, he's now an actor. He's done some stuff in Broadway. Former pass rusher for Washington and the Titans, Brian Arakpo, is a cupcake decorator. Him and former teammate Michael Griffin opened up Gigi's Cupcakes franchise in Bee Cave, Texas. Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell have started boxing. Connor Barwin became a co-owner of a basketball team in Italy. Gilbert, which of these unique jobs post-pro football would you be interested in doing?
Well, I can't say TV talking head, right? Because I kind of do that sometimes, I guess. So we have a podcast because a lot of these players go and do TV, right? You know what? Mine's gonna be kind of weird. Like I love seeing the stories where like the NFL player invests money in a certain business and it just blows up. Like I want to do that. Like find
Shaq?
Just find a couple like Magic Johnson,
Starbucks
with the drink, or even
just body armor.
You find some kind of alcohol, whatever it is, you just blow up. I want to invest in something. So when you're reading about me in 10 years, like, whoa, he got rich off of that and he sucked as a player.
By the way, Kendall Jenner needs a Mexican to be on her tequila.
Well, she got the Puerto Rican. I don't think that's working out.
Yeah, exactly. I would go with Blake Martinez. I think the whole Pokemon thing is hilarious. I think that's interesting, going around selling Pokemon cards. Now, I'm not going to lie. The Brian Arakpo thing, can you imagine this massive human being with arms just decorating a cupcake? Like, that is hilarious. But Nnamdi Asomugha, he's married to Kerry Washington, so she got him into acting and doing all that stuff. So I think regardless, I think they're all awesome. What all these guys are doing is definitely awesome. So pretty cool. Gilbert, lastly, Dwayne Wade is having Allen Iverson introduce him at his Hall of Fame induction. Which Hall of Fame is the one that you would like to go into, and who would you have introduce you?
I don't know, because like I don't really care for the other one, so I'm gonna pick football. I like the Canton week and seeing some of my favorite people that I covered or watched as a kid, and who will present me. I don't know, like who's somebody in the sports world that will present me. I don't know. How about Dan and Daygo? How about that?
Ooh, that'd be
I
interesting.
really don't know. I wish I had a better answer.
Dan and Daigo would actually, I think he'd get the crowd going.
Yeah, like I want somebody to hype it up and then like talk really, good about me. And he's a promo guy, so why not?
There you go. I do the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I would have Eric Weddle present me. I think that'd be a really cool one. Eric and I go way back. It's funny, at the Super Bowl last year or 2 years ago, the COVID Super Bowl, after he was done speaking, he came up and gave me a hug and said it was up to me. So pretty cool. So I'd love for Eric Weddle to be the one that would present me, but I think it's going to be the other way around because Eric is so talented, and
There you go.
and he extended his. He was supposed to be eligible, I think, in the next 2 years, and now that it got extended because of him playing.
He came back.
Yeah, when he came back, so that gets extended a couple of years.
Think he makes it?
I think that Super Bowl kind of helps, but I don't know. The one that I think is going to go in right automatically next year is going to be Antonio Gates. He's next, so that's going to be interesting to watch. But Gilbert, that has been Rapid Fire. Let's move on now and bring the fellas on and see.
Forgot about that.
Vic, how are you doing? Good weekend?
Yes, had a really good weekend. As you guys,
yeah, you're drafting second overall.
Yeah, and it wasn't my fault, but we had we didn't know if how we were gonna do the draft order, but big ups to Alonso. He came through and we did it off his phone, and yeah, he has an app for it, and so he was kind of iffy about it just because he says that he's been, ever since he created the draft order, it's been bad luck on him, and as it turns out, he got the third pick. So there you go.
Y'all are really superstitious, aren't you?
Yes.
I'm only a little stitious. I was gonna ask you something else about that. It's incredible what you can do now. Roll the dice on your phone. You can flip a coin, like just craziness. But I'm glad you had a good weekend, and obviously, thank you for keeping me in the loop about everything on the fan that you guys were coming up with. Fantasy football. It should be a good season.
It's Gilberto's favorite time of the week because he gets to see his favorite person in his whole life. How are you doing? But by the way, before we even start this, do you see what the hell we have to deal with? I feel like Bernie Mac. Look at this, America. Over here complaining that he forgets about us and everything like that. What a stooge, what a scumbag. What can I say?
Hey, you gotta trim that beard. School's starting, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, August 9th. August 8th. No.
He doesn't even know your report.
9th in the morning, it's going away, dude.
We should do a bit of him shaving his beard.
Yeah, my mom's not too happy about his beard.
Yeah, she says anyone who says it looks nice aren't my friend. So there you go. That was nice.
It's
nice
not like nice
go
at
to
all.
She's like, go to the barber and get it lined up or do something with it. And he's like, no, it's gonna come off anyway.
You're just a homeless cowboy right now. Homeless cowboy right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey, at least looks better than the past couple of years, dude. I used to get a really bad Abe Lincoln where it would only be on my neck, and like my face and my cheeks basically had nothing. So at least now I get a little bit more of the mustache.
Dan, did you have a nice weekend?
Oh yeah, I've just been doing master stuff. I'm watching a Vietnam doc, getting ready for my master's final project that I'm going to do on Vietnam. So I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah. So so Vic did fantasy football. Vic, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, we usually get together every year around July just to kind of go over some of the rules. And honestly, when I did it this year, as Gilbert explained early on the show, he had told me ahead of time that he wasn't going to show up. And then you live in San Diego, so I didn't know how many people were going to show up. But I was surprisingly, surprised that we got 5 people to show up. we went over some things. We got a lot of stuff done. We're actually changing leagues thanks to Gilbert, who he kind of talked
The guy
about.
who's not there changes everything up.
Yeah, I know. He's like, we're living in the
A lot of
Stone Age
power.
on Yahoo, and we're gonna
What a
move over
diva.
to Sleeper.com now. And apparently, like everybody is like half the league was kind of like iffy about it, but now that everybody's kind of jumped on, everybody's like, you know what, this is actually a really good app. We're not getting paid here to advertise them, but it really is a good app. Outside of that, like just seeing everybody there and like I said, just getting everybody to kind of agree on things was kind of without Gilbert was actually pretty good. Maybe we don't need Gilbert to show up every year.
Maybe he's the problem.
Yeah. You guys
exactly.
had fun without me. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you guys one thing right now. You all better hope to God he does not draft your best player on your teams, or else that guy's season is done. The Gilberto curse lives on. Don't let him pick your players. Don't let him
Guess
make
what
predictions.
quarterback you want to
games.
select this year?
Nope. You better not select the son of Odin.
Well,
Because
I
let me
had
tell
a
you something.
rule. I don't draft players I cover, but I don't really cover Herbert full time. So maybe I'll take him.
I'll be pissed because I know that what that's gonna mean.
We'll see. I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop.
No thanks.
Yeah, and I'll say one more thing. I thought one of the things that we got kind of creative, and as we talked, we kind of came up with different things. But last year, our winner, he auto drafted, and so in order to kind of to come up with the punishment this year, if from now on whoever auto drafts is going to lose their 8th round pick, and they're going to have to drop him before the season. So I thought, like, we came up with some, like, even though it's kind of like, hey, let's get everybody together, and kind of talk about because we only see each other like maybe once or twice a year, especially for the draft. This was going to be something cool to do. And we got a lot of stuff done. So like it got really creative this year with some of the things. And it's just fun to see people. I thought like that's one of the cool things about fantasy sports is just getting together with your friends and being able to talk. And also we came together on a draft day as well. So that's something really cool that I kind of took away from this experience.
Why don't you draft Mahomes? The one year I drafted Mahomes, I kid you not, was
He's so
probably one of
worried.
his worst years. Yeah.
Same.
Okay. Well, I'll think about it.
I was gonna ask you guys something. I can't remember. Yeah, no, I came in 3rd last year, right?
I think
No.
you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget.
The season before was the one where I messed up, right? And I didn't start Lamar Jackson. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Roberto, weren't
When I
you in the
messed up.
Sacco or you won the Sacco?
I lost. No way. I guess no. I
No,
technically
you
won
won
the
the
sack.
sack.
Wait, no. I won the game, but I didn't get the sack. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, okay. So you were second.
But
to
I haven't
last.
made the
Wow.
playoffs like in 3 years. So it's been a long drought for me.
And this is why I became commissioner, because he said that he was cursed being the commissioner because he finished his last 2. I think was it.
But I won 2 championships as a commissioner, and then I lost that one last year. So I thought it was that was it, but I guess not. Got to come back,
Dude.
Rise.
Me hating fantasy football. I won 1 year and I came in 2nd place last year. I was so pissed.
And let's see what you do this year.
No, I don't think I want to do
No,
it.
you're doing it.
And
I
we
hate
asked,
playing fantasy.
we asked that Daygo to join, and he's like, "No, I can't. I'm too."
I had to force him to
hate-
do the other one.
I hate fantasy football. It is so stupid.
But yeah, he can't stand it. But
It's
because
all
what he
witchcraft.
doesn't want to do is like what he was watching a game last year, and I think he had Tyreek Hill when they were playing the Chargers, and he's like, I want Tyreek Hill to do well, but I want them to lose. He's like, no, I hate this. He's like, I hate doing this.
Too many
I'm not
emotions.
going to do it next year. He always says
Yeah.
he's not going to do it next year, but I still drag him into it. So he gets mad.
Dude, like I remember I think it was one of the Sunday or Thursday night games or whatever, Chiefs Chargers. And it was one of the ones where Kelsey goes off for 2 touchdowns, scores the game winner in overtime, and the Chargers lose. But I won my fantasy game because of it. And I was like, good God, dude, this is all crap.
But yeah, some good stuff there. Now it is time for
Roberto's favorite segment.
oh no, and Gilberto is going to be going
Dude,
first.
that was Kane. Did you see what he just did? That was what Kane used to
Whatever.
do, fool. He
Gilbert.
used to
You
do
go
this.
first. I'm interested.
All right, I'm sorry, Fernando, but I gotta do this to you. I'm gonna bury you this week,
What a
and
scumbag.
I was hesitant because I'm like, okay, you're my boy. You know, I don't want to bury you. I've never done this before. I will bury Dan all the time. But Fernando, I don't know. And then I heard you talk about Jimmy Lozano. You know, the manager. What do you call him in Spanish when you call coaches?
Director
Lamborghini.
técnico.
There you go, the technician of Mexican soccer
Director
team.
Lamborghini.
técnico.
And you were giving him a lot of credit, but the real credit should go to me, Fernando.
No.
So
Don't start this.
because for the last 4 years, Fernando, I've heard you try to defend El Tri. Say they're gonna come back, they're gonna be better than USA. So all your support has done, Fernando, is you're the curse. You're
When
the one
have I
that's
said
support-
that?
you've
You're a
been
big
supporting
old
this
three guy,
team.
bro.
I
I
heard you in the Chargers Center defending Mexico to all the white guys. And
Oh, that's with Pop because I hate listening to Pop talk. So I'm
and
gonna shut
every
him up.
every week you were disappointed. They lost, they lose, they fired 4 coaches during your time supporting this crew. And I go to one game, Fernando, and they win the Gold Cup, the prestigious Gold Cup.
I
One
have to
game.
give Pop
Against
crap.
who?
What do you expect?
Against who?
I am not the curse. Your brother is, Dan. And all they needed was for me to attend the game, and they're back on top. They won the
Let me
Gold
ask you a
Cup.
question. Were you wearing Mexico gear? Did you ever say the
It
words
doesn't
Mexico
matter.
will
My-
win
my
today?
presence-
Oh, okay.
Dan, the last time they won the Gold Cup was 2019. I get there one time, they win it.
Who called the game winner yesterday?
Oh,
sorry,
Fernando did,
Fernando.
yeah.
In the
You-
62nd minute, I said
Yeah.
Santi's gonna come in and he's gonna nail the game winner.
Your support the
I knew it
last
was
4
gonna
years,
happen.
Fernando, has done nothing good here but fire
It's a
coaches.
trash Pop, and I'm completely right because Christian Pulisic is trash. So I've been completely
There he
right
goes.
about that.
There he goes.
But I've never said Mexico's coming back. I know Mexico's garbage.
You're a big super
Okay,
Memo
Maybe,
fan?
maybe I
That's why I
changed
haven't-
it a little bit, but
That's why I haven't bet with Pop in the last 3 times that Mexico's faced the U.S. because I know that they're trash.
You
So,
rate
yeah,
Edson Alvarez, Fernando?
I don't rate anybody. I rate Santi Jimenez. That guy is a beast.
Hey, if you're a
Everybody
big
else,
Tecatito fan, you're
Yeah.
going to piss off
that guy
JC, Fernando.
sucks. That guy sucks too. No, this
the
guy.
point
told
is,
you guys,
Fernando,
guy.
stop watching Mexican soccer and they'll do well. There you go.
This guy.
Just said
Okay.
Gilbert.
We watched
All
on
right, let's
Sunday,
move
guy.
on. Jesus. All right, let's move on. He had nothing to bury this week, so he chose me. I'll go next. I'm gonna bury Netflix. Why are you burying Netflix? Why would I want to see Brittany Mahomes on the quarterback so much?
Oh, yeah.
What, like, why? Like, seeing her is just so annoying. That's why I said earlier, I wonder if Steph and Patrick were like, I have the worst wife. No, I have the worst wife. No, it's me. No, it's me. But no, it's just terrible. Next time for the quarterback, don't put the significant others. Just let it be more about the quarterbacks than them, because Brittany Mahomes just not a
Football.
person that. Why didn't you just put Jackson while you're at it? Let's hear about him and his crap, his little dances. And
Hey, you better be
this
careful,
and
Frown.
that.
That's Gilberto's boy. He was about to run into his TikTok at Super Bowl Radio Road.
They should have plugged his
Yeah,
mugshot in
right.
there too.
Dude, that was a good story. I saw
His
him.
best TikTok
dancing.
was his mugshot.
The first thing I thought about when I saw him dancing in the wild, I'm like, damn,
Oh,
you gotta
I
see
forgot
straight ahead. Jackson Mahomes doing a TikTok right in front of our eyes, and I swear Dan saw something he didn't want to see. His eyes were burning.
I thought
Dude,
Dan
it
was
was
gonna be
like,
like, well, let's do a TikTok together. Turns around, bang.
I was like the Bird Box people, dude. I was about to walk in front of a bus, dude. Waste of
yeah.
height. Isn't he like 6'6" or something like that?
I think he's taller than Pat. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Waste of height.
I didn't know crap was stacked that high.
Have you watched all the episodes, Fernando?
No, hell no, I haven't watched any of them. I saw that I heard that Brittany Mahomes is
He's
in it a
so
lot,
mad.
and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. Like, if she's
Yeah,
in
obviously.
it, I've watched clips though. Like on YouTube, I
Yeah.
go clips of the show when it's just Patrick Mahomes and it comes out. So I've seen his clips. Man, I'll tell you one thing though, Dan. I'm sorry. I have a lot more respect for him than I had before. Like, the dude's a warrior. Like, for him to go up to Max Crosby and start talking all that trash, that's what I've been waiting for somebody to
Dan.
do. He talks a lot of trash.
You
so
guys
I-
are so soft. He's the first one crying to the officials because he knows he's going to get flags and reactions. You guys are so soft. Now I have why don't we just rename this Patrick Mahomes with the Compas, dude? I'm surrounded over
Hey,
here.
if we can
Well,
get him
who knows
on,
my
I'd be
pick,
down.
but-
No, but I'm just being honest. Like, he does talk a lot. Like, he talks crap, and I'm very like, I just didn't know, like, with the voice that he has, I'm surprised he even talks.
Frau,
crap
obviously
at all,
he
but-
talks trash. No one can hit him. No one can hit him, Frau, for God's sake. Either Andy Reid is such a genius, he gets the ball so fast.
I'm not talking about his play though. I'm talking about the trash talking. Like I actually like that. I like that him. I like that Joe Burrow talks trash. Like I like.
Oh, that guy's for real. Joe Cool's for real.
Oh,
No. But I'm saying
Mahomes.
like I like the aspect
he's
of
not.
the
He's
trash
not for real.
talking.
He's not.
I like the aspect of the trash talking, but
yeah,
I'm
why? Because he knows he's not going to get touched. Because what happens?
He's still
It'll
talking
cost
trash.
people games.
I was surprised to hear him talk so much trash.
He's garbage. He's all right.
Damn.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that the one that everybody keeps talking about how much respect they have for him is Kirk Cousins.
The injury. Oh
Like,
yeah.
I saw that one too.
Yeah, like everybody.
His wife going through his closet was hilarious, and she's like, "This is the one that he wore here," and she remembered everything. He wore this one for this press conference. He wore this for that. He wore that. I was like,
"Wow, they're gonna call her the new Sean McVay, dude." Here we go.
Dan, if you want to feel better, one of my Mahomes videos that I posted last week picked up some steam. I think it's viral, as the kids say. But it's a bunch of comments crapping on Mahomes. So you want to feel better and read the comments and join the community.
Every time, don't you remember? Every time I would put up shorts about Mahomes, they always did crap. Everybody hates Mahomes online.
Hey, this one did well on IG, but it was a lot of people who like just hated the dude and hearing him talk. Some bad comments.
I'm gonna have to look at these comments. My brother,
go ahead.
You want me to go? Okay, you're like ready to move on. I'm gonna just go. I'm kind of getting tired of the whole strikes going on right now, and not because of the actors now joining in and with the writers, but just hearing some of these CEOs like Bob Iger from Disney. I mean, this Disney Plus has kind of been pretty terrible since it came on. If it wasn't for The Mandalorian and a couple of other shows, and just looking at how much these studio execs have made the last 5 years, like David Zaslav, who's the head of HBO or Max now, he made over $500 million. Bob Iger, who made over 200 million, like for doing nothing. Like, and I understand why the actors and the writers are upset right now, because they like, as I've been trying to learn a little bit more about what they're fighting for, it has a lot to do with streaming. And I was listening to Snoop Dogg the other day too, where he was talking about how also with streaming, like if a song like Peso Pluma, he blows up on Spotify, there's no way of him making money off of that. The only thing he's going to be able to do is become popular like he's become, and a lot of their money comes from going on tour. But the actors and the writers and stuff like that, they don't have that unless you're like a big actor, a name actor, who's making all this money. And so that's what the writers, and then you have Bob Iger, who goes, they're like at a billionaires retreat in Idaho somewhere this week, and he's like talking bad about the actors. It's like, in this new social media landscape, people are gonna find out, how much you make. They're gonna put it out. Before, you could get away with saying things about actors and writers. Now you can, and it got to the point where Ron Perlman, who plays Hellboy, he went and he's like, because there was I guess according to a source, there was an executive who said that they're gonna wait them out until they lose their houses and their apartments, when he's talking about the writers and the actors. And Ron Perlman was like, look, if you want to play that game, we know who you are. We know which executive it is that made $27 million last year. We know how karma, can come back. And so they even pissed off Hellboy. So that tells you where we're at with these executives. And so for me, I'm going to bury the studio executives. You can't go out there and just, like, especially when we're coming off a pandemic, you can't go out there and just say the same thing that worked before. Like, social media now with TikTok and everything, people are going to put your business out there, and it's going to get worse. And now, because of it, we're not going to get good shows. We're going to have a bunch of reality shows this fall, and it's going to be terrible for TV. So
more Love is Blind.
There you go.
I wonder how much Ron Perlman is going to donate to these writers, and how much of his money he's going to.
No, it's good to see, like, Ted Lasso, he was out there, like, then that tells you who's really about it, and who isn't. So that's a good point. It's by
all optics and social media half the time, dude. I'm convinced, a little side rant, I'm convinced everyone's seen The Boys here, I think, except for Al.
Yes.
Never seen it.
I'm convinced that's how celebrities and those type of people actually operate. based off of just what's going to react well in the public and everything else. Nothing's real about them, so it's all fake to me. I'm glad they're hopefully in this hiatus. I mean, hopefully it all gets resolved and no one loses their homes and everything else. T's and P's of those guys. But hopefully they can come up with some better crap, dude. I have not been very happy with what I've seen come out lately.
That leads into yours, right?
That's what?
That leads into your burial.
Well, he
When
doesn't
it
have any
comes out,
options. He's just
it
watching
might. I don't even
Vietnam.
remember what it. Oh yeah, that does lead into mine. That does
Watching
lead into
Vietnam
mine.
docs all day. So what else can you do?
That does. What? What?
All you do is watch Vietnam documentaries, so you don't have a lot of options.
It's so funny to me how much I'm mocked on this show and behind the scenes for being cultured and learning things. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Once again, look what I have to deal with, America. Look what I'm dealing with.
America
Anyway,
lost.
yeah.
What else do you want to know? They lost the war. Okay.
And here we go. I'm not even going to get started on this. I'm just going to send you a Red Foreman clip later, and you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, so kind of to piggyback off of Vic is burial a little bit on the other side now, the creative. I absolutely hate when shows have departing characters and they just try and throw in random characters to balance out the cast and things like that. I was recently finishing up That 70s Show. Absolutely hated the Randy character. Like, obviously, the guy got a role. Congrats to that guy. That was probably his biggest role ever. I did not like him. I thought they were trying to make him a blend of Kelso and Eric. So I was not a huge fan of him.
Like, pick a side.
Oh, there you go.
Tell me about
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Okay, so Vietnam was an illegal war, which we lost.
You remember
What
this?
the hell are you teaching him? You,
America.
come with me. I'll teach you the real American history. First of all, we didn't lose the war. It was a tie. Besides, they're grateful. They have McDonald's now.
I didn't remember that.
Shout out to Red Foreman, dude. My absolute spirit animal. So that's just what I was going to get at. Just real basic and quick. I hate when they add characters who just do not mesh well with the cast that's already there. I thought, for instance, using the That 70s Show as an example, I thought the cast had such a great chemistry, all of them. So when Kelso and Eric obviously left, you could tell, something was missing. But I don't think adding another rando character was the
Randy.
They should have just ended the
Especially 'cause
show.
in the last episode, they
Yeah.
don't even use them. I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's
That
a
was
good
my
point,
little
though, Vic. Like, at some point, when your guys are leaving because they got too famous, just end the damn show. Like,
Yeah,
The
like The
Office,
Office.
Yeah.
Like, I stopped watching after Michael Scott left.
awful.
Like, there was
Yeah.
no reason to add some of those characters in.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you remember all the hate Will Ferrell got. That's why he only lasted
Yeah.
like 2
Well,
episodes.
Fernando, like, I know you love The Office, but it's not the greatest show or sitcom of all time because those 2 or 3 crappy last season. Just end it like Seinfeld did at the top, and you win. But
by
what
the way,
hell do you know? You can't commit to finishing anything, Mister.
I finished
Harry
Seinfeld.
Potter and the Prisoner of the Sorcerer's Stone and all this stuff.
It's a crappy franchise. We'll get into it. Don't do spoilers.
You're
The
Yeah,
Office
yeah.
is not. The Office is great. There are some episodes in the 8th and 9th season that I still like. I'm like,
No,
oh
you don't.
no. There are some good episodes in the 8th and 9th season. I'm not saying all of them, but like when Robert California goes, "I am the effing Lizard King." Like
Oh,
they
shut up.
each have moments where they're funny, and I like when they go to. I think when they go to Florida, it's actually pretty funny. Like
Yeah,
especially with all the like him getting the appendicitis and.
Florida.
He's like, I can't have appendicitis. I eat plenty of enough bacon. Like that kind of stuff is funny, but no, I get what it does take a huge hit, especially because you have so much turnover at the manager position in The Office that it's just not the same. You got 7 3/4 of seasons of Michael Scott, and then here you have Nelly, you have
Andy.
Will Ferrell, Andy. You have so many different managers. Well, actually, no, there was one manager, or there was 2 managers while Michael Scott was there. It was him and Charles Minor. He was
Idris
there.
Elba?
Huh? Yeah,
Idris Elba?
Idris
Idris
Elba
Elba.
was there for a little bit. Yeah, but yeah.
Or,
so
or even
definitely-
2.5 minutes when freaking they had Kelso
Yeah,
replace.
that's true.
Charlie
Yeah,
Sheen.
That was so.
that's what they were
stupid.
hoping
Yeah,
for, though.
exactly.
That's what they were hoping for. That people would see him as Kelso in a sense, but it just wasn't the
It was
same.
ass.
You know who would have been good? John Stamos. But John Stamos didn't want to go down as the sex crazed, like
Right.
Uncle Charlie kind of wannabe. But it's like
Hey,
that's who you are.
And you know what's crazy? It happened to Charlie Sheen. Like he replaced Michael J. Fox on Spin City.
Yep.
Like it also happened there too. So I mean,
and then he had a show called Anger Management. It just wasn't. He tried to be Uncle Charlie in a sense, and it just wasn't the same.
No,
yeah. But I mean, that kid made bank though. You see, he was doing almost $1 million an episode. His last. That's why they cut his character at the end, because he was making so much money that they had to cut his character. But yeah, 2.5 Men. As soon as Ashton Kutcher comes in, it was like the show was carried by Alan and by Berta and by the mom. Like Ashton Kutcher's character was terrible in that show. But yeah, I get what you guys mean.
I was gonna say the only time it's kind of worked on, at least since I've been watching sitcoms, it has been Parks and Rec when they brought in.
I've never watched that show actually.
Yeah, oh, you should watch it. It's probably one of my favorite shows. But when they brought in Ben and Chris into the show, like at the end of season 2, that's when that show took off. Like, and it's funny because like the character they got rid of, he's never mentioned again. Like he's pretty much gets erased from the show. So that's it happens.
Think of who it is. I can't even think of who it is.
Yeah, but if you guys get a chance, you guys should watch it.
Yeah, he's watched it.
Yeah.
No, you know what's funny? Michael J. Fox replaced somebody for they had somebody else for Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly.
And because he was doing Family Ties,
Family Ties. Yeah. You guys should watch the documentary.
Yeah, I did. So he would work. So he would do Family Ties in the morning, and he would do Back to the Future at night, and he would sleep in the drive over. He would get driven by a limo guy. He would fall asleep in the limo because he'd be recording all night and then go straight to Family Ties. So he said he was exhausted while filming all that stuff. So it was definitely his documentary is definitely interesting because you get to see a lot of the stuff. He's like, dude, I was exhausted, but he supposedly there is a version where they did almost half of the movie with this other guy.
Oh, they did the whole movie.
The whole movie, okay.
Yes.
And they completely stopped. I'd love to see that version one day just to see how different it was.
Didn't they bring it up in The Flash where he's the
you're right. Yeah, they did bring it up. It was another guy. I just don't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, he's right. He's the guy from Back to the Future. He's like, no, that's not the
it's Michael J. Fox. Who's that? No, you're completely right. That's definitely interesting. But all right, let's move on to Avocado Roast. This weekend is being called Barbenheimer at the movie theaters with the Barbie and Oppenheimer films set to hit theaters. More than 20,000 tickets have been sold for the double feature with AMC. AMC, I am a rewards member. Shout out, sponsor us. In honor of this double feature, what are two films that you didn't go watch in theater that you would go watch if they had it at your local theater?
Wait. So people are watching these shows these movies back to back?
Yeah, so they're going back. So like,
why?
Just a quick history.
Because they're a Barbie girl and they want to see shit blow up.
How do you go from that to that? It makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, so like just a quick history. Like the double feature kind of started in the Great Depression because people were there wasn't a lot to do and people were hurting the movie theaters, and so the double feature was a way to go and see a movie. You pay to go see two movies for the price of one. And then, as you got to the 50s, it kind of went away. And then you'll see it here and there. And so, with cinemas right now, with movie theaters kind of struggling to get people into movie theaters, AMC was one of the theaters who was offering the double feature. And that's how they've been able to get over 20,000 people to come and see both of them. Yeah. So if you want to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer this weekend as a double feature, you can go see it. So my question before we get in, if you were able to go see it, which one would you watch first? Would you watch Oppenheimer first or Barbie
Yeah, no, you watch Oppenheimer first, dude. You do not want to leave the movie theater with the thought of an existential crisis of nuclear war. Like I would go watch Oppenheimer first, then be dumbed down by the Barbie world. Or
he's watching Oppenheimer on the 70
millimeter.
Yeah,
you're one of them. My brother is doing the same thing.
Little Daniel was the one who found it. I'm not even the genius. Little Daniel with his little rat claws. I don't know what he looks up online or what he finds on the witchcraft.
What if he talks to you during the movie?
I'm just going to grab the popcorn bowl and I'm just going to put it in his face. Shut the hell up.
All right, Dan. What are the 2 movies that you'd love to see back to back if you could?
Yeah, of course. You picked me first so you guys can mock me once again with these classical masterpieces. So if you've never seen The Godfather, what I always tell people first and foremost is that if you want to learn about, real social, I don't want to say struggles, but like things about people in the world, The Godfather is the movie for you because you learn everything from betrayal, loyalty, and everything else, and how to, essentially stay ahead of the game, if that makes sense. So I love The Godfather. I think The Godfather is an excellent film. It has a lot of good teachings where it's like, like a lot of it makes sense, like in the sense of your own relationship with other people's and things like that. The other movie is a classic of mine. One of my favorites. I just saw it recently with my mom. Is Patton. Patton was also in the 70s. Absolute great film. I think he's such an underrated historical figure, one of the best generals in World War II, no matter what the English or anybody says. Absolutely love that film. So I would do The Godfather and Patton, but a close second was The Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know if anyone's seen that one. Also an excellent film dealing with.
I didn't know we were choosing 3 movies. I didn't
say,
know it was back to back.
I'll say this. I'm kind of surprised you didn't go with Godfather 2 over Godfather 1.
You know what's funny? I like Godfather 1 a little bit more just because of Marlon Brando, of the original Don Corleone and everything else. And I like the whole structure, or like the whole dynamic between him and Michael and everything else. So I thought number 1 was really interesting, especially because, on a quick side note again, talking about documentaries, there's a Godfather documentary that's excellent that essentially depicts, breaks down essentially the how Michael, Sonny, and what the hell's the other brother's name that he kills? Oh, why am I?
Fredo.
Oh, Fredo. It depicts how those 3 characters are different types of mob bosses. So that was also very interesting. When you watch it, you start connecting dots and everything else. So, yeah, those would be the movies for me.
Vic?
For me, I went I was gonna go with The Dark Knight, but everybody just to go off of comic book, but I kind of changed my mind just because, everybody loves the Joker, and I'm like, okay, that one's pretty easy for me. But honestly, the 2, just the first one I'll say, just and it'll go off of Barbie and Oppenheimer. I'll say Iron Man, just Robert Downey Jr.'s in Oppenheimer. Iron Man, like, when it came out, like I was like, oh, these nerds are gonna go see this movie. It's probably gonna flop, and and then I meet Megan, and of course, like, it changes my whole perspective on the whole comic book thing. And like now, hearing stories of people who went to go see it, I'm kind of jealous of that, especially like the stories that Megan tells me. For me, that would have been one, just because that's the start of the NCU, and just seeing where they were at to where they are now. That movie pretty much started everything for the MCU. Without Iron Man, we don't have what we have now, with the MCU. And then the other one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, another comic book thing. Like, that's another one where I've heard people. I don't remember hearing about it. I just remember one day watching it and just being in awe. And also the cast who came: Michael Cera, Chris Evans, Brie Larson, Aubrey Plaza, like a bunch of people who weren't, like, they were no names at the time. And just the way that movie is structured, it's become one of my favorite movies to watch, and I would have loved to have seen it. And then, of course, as we talked about, I think Michael Cera is in Barbie, so that's another that would be my double feature for myself.
So is John Cena.
What was his name?
Oh yeah, John Cena is Barbie. That is true.
Who cares about John Cena? He's irrelevant for now.
Is it my turn or your turn?
Go ahead, Gilbert.
He's trying to think of something harmful to say to me.
No, I just want to say that I have no interest in watching Barbie. It looks terrible, so I won't watch it. And you call it a double feature, Victor, but when I was a kid, I would just go watch one movie and watch another one. Don't pay, and I have a name for it. But
what a thief!
What theater did you go to so that they can mail you your?
What I went to no longer exists, so I can say that.
So
there you go.
I did that all the time as a kid when I was like 13, 14. Pick one movie. And I think I got the question wrong. I was gonna make fun of you guys and be like, "Oh, if I go back into time, I'll watch Harry Potter." I thought what the question was: go back into time, watch a movie in theaters. No. So I feel like if I would have watched Harry Potter back in the day, maybe I would be more invested like you guys. But I don't have a time machine, so if I have to go do it right now, I won't do that because I'll be bored for 2 movies of Harry Potter. But I'm gonna pick 2 movies that I stole from the theaters to be from my double feature. I watched Bad Boys 2, Stolen, and I watched I think Scary Movie 2 also, two sequels. So
No, but it's a movie that you never watched in theaters.
Yeah,
oh,
it's a
theaters?
movie.
Oh.
Yeah,
A movie that you've watched like at home, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have watched that in the movie theater.
You have a hard time reading comprehending, don't you?
You guys
I
are
would love
talking
to see
about
some of your
Barbie and
test
double
scores,
features.
dude.
I don't want to watch Barbie.
That's
not
No
about
one's
Barbie.
saying
I'm not
you
even
have
sure
Barbie,
Oppenheimer-
guy.
I don't even know what Oppenheimer is about. It looks
Oh
interesting.
my
The
God
atomic bomb.
Almighty!
No,
Like you can't watch it in Japan. In Japan, it's outlawed.
Oh, okay.
Oppenheimer?
Well, I don't know. I don't care. By the way,
Yeah, because they were the test subject, dude.
by the
What
way,
are
I wish
are
they made Iron Man because they created MCU. I hate all the MCU movies. It was terrible. I have no interest in watching.
It's not crap on everybody else's choice. It's
honestly,
what's your
I
choice.
honestly made this so easy for Gilbert. To
It
just
is not
pick
easy at all.
Rocky 4 or Rocky and go watch it at the movie theater.
That's not a movie you watch in the theater. You watch it at home, and you're.
Oh my God, dude!
Why would I want a big screen to watch?
All right.
I don't know.
I
Whatever.
never
Sucks.
watched. So I had friends when we were in high school that would tell me, "Dude, you didn't watch The Hangover. The Hangover was a great movie. I never watched it in theaters.
You don't have to
I
watch
watched
it
it
in
at
theaters.
Huh?
That's another movie. You
You're
need a big screen
taking-
for action.
It's
You don't
the first
need
time you're
the
watching
Hangover
you're
on the
listening
big
to all
screen.
I'd rather watch it again and listen to all the jokes for the first time again, laugh. But I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it at home. So I'm saying I wish I could have watched it in theaters to gain the experience and laugh and everything because it's a great movie. It's
Especially
a movie that
the
you
end
hadn't
credits.
really seen since probably American Pie. It's
They're
a new
super
kind
bad.
of aspect to it. So I
I
went
stole
with The
that one
Hangover.
too. American Pie. Stole that
And then
one.
the other one is Back to the Future. I think experiencing Back to the Future in the theater would be awesome, especially nowadays. Like if we could get it in that 70 millimeter thing or in IMAX, like I think that would be fantastic, especially the opening scene when he does a thing with the guitar and he blows
the speaker.
the speakers. That would be an awesome scene. But I think Back to the Future would be awesome to watch.
I'm surprised that's not more of a mainstream thing at theaters anyway. Bringing back some of the oldies like once in a while, or
it's gonna
I know
start,
some of them
especially
do
with
it,
all these strikes. Like
but
they
it's not
stopped
mainstream.
Deadpool 3/4 of the way. Deadpool 3, they stopped 3/4
Oh,
of the way.
thank God! I was not a fan of Deadpool 1.
No,
or
Deadpool
2,
3 is
so.
gonna be really good. I'm excited for Deadpool, but
Now,
let's move on to una más viral. This video went viral over the weekend. Lionel Messi was spotted at a grocery store.
yeah, he's a scumbag.
And, you could totally see it's hilarious to see him squirm right here. Like this lady, this old lady comes up and asks, and he goes to his wife and he's like, "Hey, can you give me the keys?" And he's like, "Okay." He grabs his kids and he walks out. And some people start recognizing him. But it was funny because I think he lasted a while in Publix and nobody had recognized him or anything. And then finally, like some people came up to him. But yeah, it was definitely fun. And then there's the police. Definitely funny to see.
Didn't he almost get into a car crash because people?
That's what they said. Yeah, that he almost got into a car accident trying to get out or something like that. But here's another video of him just shopping at Publix. He's with his kids there, and they're picking out cereal and all this other stuff. But like, look, nobody's bothering him because nobody really knows.
Nobody cares in the United States.
No, you know what I think it is? I think people sometimes you see somebody and you're like, is that him? Is that really them? Like, and you're like, no, there's no way they're gonna be here. So
He was looking around like, someone please recognize me. Please.
Yeah.
Please. Someone
Gilbert-
recognize me.
Gilbert, if you ask somebody from Japan, hey, you put a picture of Mahomes and a picture of freaking Messi,
Oh, it's
they're going
Messi.
to recognize Messi 10 times over.
But here on the greatest country on planet
No,
Earth,
here they'll recognize
you.
we don't care about Messi.
No,
Thank
they
you.
care about soccer.
We
Clearly,
do not
because-
care here.
They
Do you know
care
how much
about Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, we don't care about him either.
No, they do care. They care about him here. But I thought it was pretty funny. Vic, I mean, do you think you would have recognized, like, or would you have double taken and kind of been like, you know what, is that him or is that not him?
I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't have, just because I'm not paying attention to it's funny because here, like, I feel like every time I go out somewhere, it's always like you're looking for the big guy, right? Like a football player, a basketball player, someone who's over 6 feet tall. You're like, oh, is that guy a football player or a basketball player? You know, when you see Leo looks like a regular person, you know, soccer players look like, and of course here you're not going to
And he probably
recognize.
look shorter in person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and you know,
He doesn't look like a soccer player. He looks like a dad.
I'm sure he's happy about this because he's like, man, I didn't get this, in Argentina or in France
or whatever.
Spain.
Yeah,
He
no.
was always recognized, and he was just shocked. I bet you he was shocked to see that nobody was there. And as Dan and Daygo said, he probably called somebody. He's like, hey man, can you have somebody come over here?
He announced that I'm in the store.
He must have tested it out. Like, let's go for a family trip and let's see how it goes and just test it out. I feel like he was doing that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he's done like the MLS. Obviously, their Apple TV thing isn't working. They've lost money. Well, now that Messi's here, it's obviously going to kick up subscriptions. Tickets are now like $200 plus. Like they play his debuts on Friday. They're playing against Cruz Azul, and it's like $250 per ticket, even in the nosebleed. So
I can't wait to see him not score. And
people are going to want to watch him. Like he's going to come out to watch. He's going to come out to LA September 2nd. That thing's going to be packed.
Yeah, me and Dan have one thing in common. We're not gonna pay for the Apple MLS package. We're good.
Yeah, no, Dan just lets Fernando pay for it. So, but
now you're trying to blast me as a moocher. You're awesome.
No, I'm not. No. I'm not trying to blast him. I'm just saying, yeah, Dan's not gonna pay for it. He's not gonna. I'm gonna watch his game on Friday.
I'll tell you one thing. As soon as San Diego FC actually starts, I'm gonna try and go to a game or two for sure. Unless you're trying to charge me $200 or something stupid.
Hey, what's interesting? Lastly, Vic asked me. He texted me right now. Vic was like, "Hey, can I ask Dan how his Padres are doing?"
Yes.
How are your Padres doing?
Yeah, my Padres. I'm so sad. They're supposedly so bad, and their record is under 500.
What's gonna happen in September?
I'm waiting, but it looks like it's not going to happen. All I know is that August is around the corner and a real man sport starts. I can't wait for that. I'm tired of all these soft sports. I was making, real quick story. I was making fun of, not making fun because then everybody gets all sensitive, but I was joking with one of the players today. They were doing our conditioning test to see where they were and stuff like that. I was telling one of them, this ain't baseball, son. I can tell you, you're sweating your ass off a lot today. You can tell. I was looking at his face. I'm like, I know what you're thinking to yourself. Man, I wish I was back in baseball where all I have to do is stand here like a jackass for 90% of the time. He starts laughing. He's like, Coach, no, I have to run and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, come on, dude. We all know what baseball is. It's soft. It's for the non-athletes.
Well, we appreciate everybody for checking out yet another episode of Compas on the Beat. Don't forget to check out compasonthebeatmerch.com and compasonthebeat.com. For all your clothing needs on compasonthebeatmerch.com, on compasonthebeat.com, everything Compas on the Beat. Don't forget to check out What's Up Bolts. Don't forget to check out House of Horns. Those two will be kicking back up, especially with training camp about to start in about a week. Training camp, sun, heat, exhaustion. Yes, it's about to kick off. So definitely, and don't forget, What's Up, Bolt subscribers? If we get to 1,000 subscribers,
stop announcing this.
One fan will be going out to lunch with Dan and Daygo. So that's going to be exciting. This. Alcohol not included, by the way. Definitely make sure you guys subscribe for that. Don't forget to check out everything else. Combat Compas, Compas FC, everything else on the Compas on the Beat. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for checking out yet another episode. But for the time being, we got to get ready for the week. So, Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
Yeah, if you're going to have a good weekend watching a terrible Barbie movie or watching a terrible Leo Messi game, go do that. But we'll do cool things over here on Comas on the Beat. On that note, ya nos vamos. Pues, vámonos.